Hi, my name's Madeline, and I'm here at Black Swan Yoga filming On at 6 with Lizzie and Sean, and let's do some yoga. We're going to start in child's pose today, so please come down to your mats, kneel on the mat. You can bring your knees together or apart. Bring your forehead down to the ground, and slowly reach your arms forward in front of you. Let's first focus on the breath. So take a big, deep breath through your nose. Open your mouth and sigh it out. And then begin to relax on your mat. Relax your jaw. Relax your hips. Even soften your forehead on the ground. Let's step into this moment and begin to become aware of your body, scanning yourself from fingers to toes, taking note of all the hard work you've been doing in this program, and really thanking yourself for all of your efforts. Together, let's take another big, deep breath. Let your belly expand this time. And as you exhale, sigh it out of your mouth. And then inhaling, slowly walk your hands to your left, creating a little crescent shape. Don't be afraid to walk your hands off of your yoga mat. And then settle in, letting gravity pull you down. Take a big, deep breath into your right side. Soften your jaw. And on your next inhale, slowly walk forward and over to your right. Really reach as far as you can. Once you've made it, settle in, softening your body, expanding into your left side. Take a big, deep breath and let it go. Walk your arms back forward in front of you. Let's come up to a tabletop position. So bring your hands under your shoulders, your knees on the mat. We'll begin our practice warming up the spine with cat and cow. So as you inhale, drop your belly down, lift your heart and your chin. And as you exhale, slowly curl in. Bring your chin to your heart, press against your mat, and move with your breath. Inhale, belly down, heart up. Exhale, curling into yourself. Really spread your fingers and press against your mat. Perfect. Keep going at your pace. We'll do a few more to warm up. This is a great movement to encourage circulation in your body and warm up for your day. I like to do cat and cow sometimes, even just waking up. For the next couple of breaths, feel free to move anything you'd like. You could move your hips or your shoulders, add some neck circles if it feels good, totally up to you. Let's take about 2 more deep breaths. Awesome. So from there, in tabletop, draw your ribs and your core muscles in. Press against your mat and lengthen your spine. And then slowly walk your right hand over to the left side of your mat. So plant your hand down on the mat, spin your pinky side down to the ground, and pull your arm back into the shoulder socket. And then dip your shoulder down to the ground, look over to the side. Keep your arms straight so you get a nice deep stretch onto your right side. Feels good. Let's come back up to tabletop and move to the other side. So nice and easy, you can explore this stretch, how far you'd like to reach over to the side, totally up to you. Go into the stretch and just enjoy your breath. Come back to tabletop, bring your hands down to the mat. Next, bring your knees together and your feet touching on the mat. And we'll tuck our toes back behind us for a yogi toe stretch. So just for a few breaths, we'll begin to warm up the fascia on the feet so we have a lot of mobility in our feet. Come up onto your heels, and if that's too much for your body, you can bring your hands down to the ground as well. Let's take a couple of breaths. Once you feel comfortable, bring your hands up onto your lap, and then interlace your hands back behind your back. So a modification for really strong, tight shoulders can be letting your elbows become wide. If you have more flexibility, let your arms straighten behind you. Then drop your left ear over to your shoulder. Take a long, deep breath, getting a nice stretch on your right side. Good. And then same thing to the other side. Ear over to your right, long, deep breath. And then let's release this stretch. Bring your hands back down to the mat and circle out your ankles back behind you. Encourage some blood flow. Thank your feet for enduring that kind of intense stretch. But that stretch actually prevents plantar fasciitis and really helps the feet become mobile. So it's good work. All right, from here, nice and slowly, extend your right arm up and open to the right. Twisting to the right, take a big breath. And thread the needle as you exhale. So bring your arm to the ground, reaching it to the left side of your space. Awesome. You can let your jaw relax. Take a big, deep breath if you'd like. You can extend your left leg out to the side of the mat, spinning the pinky side of your foot down, getting a nice stretch in the side of your leg. If you extended your leg, bring it back. Let's reverse ourselves. Plant your left hand firmly so you have support and come back up to the right. Take a big breath, reaching tall. Then bring it down to the mat. Move to the other side. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, reach over to the side of your space. And take your time settling in. If you'd like, extend your leg out to the side. Do your best to relax your jaw. Enjoy deep, full breaths. If you extended your leg, bring it back. Let's slowly come back up on an inhale. Lift your left arm, expanding. And bring it down to the mat, tabletop position. And from tabletop, we'll go to supported side plank. So extend your right leg back behind you. Bring the ball of the foot on your mat. Spin your heel down to your left. And then slowly lift your right arm up into the sky. If you feel unstable, you can modify this pose by bringing your right hand back to your hip, looking down to the ground so you have more balance. If you'd like to explore, you can reach your right arm overhead, getting a nice deep stretch on the side of your body. Take one more breath. And then bring it down to the mat with the exhale, tabletop. Good work, you guys. Awesome. The other side, left leg back behind you. Slow and steady, plant your heel. Open to your left, expanding. If you need stability, hand on your hip. Bringing your core muscles in. You can even start to draw your lower abdomen in, slight tuck of your tailbone under, but keep your chest lifting. If you'd like, reach your arm overhead and breathe into that stretch. Let's take one more deep breath and come down to the mat for tabletop. Let's take 3 cats and cows to come back to your breath. Inhale, expand, opening up your heart. Exhale to curl in. Big deep breath, roll your shoulders back, spread your fingers on the mat. As you exhale and curl in, press against the ground. One more time, lift up your heart. Bow into yourself. Thank yourself for practicing and exploring. Tabletop, take a big breath, tuck your toes. We'll move to downward facing dog from here. So use this first downward dog as an exploration. Become curious about how you feel. Do a whole body scan from toes to fingers. Feel free to bend your knees or pedal your legs. It might feel nice to nod your head and release some tension in your neck. Beautiful, you guys. And in downward dog, draw your lower abdomen in, but keep those full deep breaths going in your heart, breathing deeply through your nose. Take another breath in and out. And then as you inhale, look forward and slowly walk up to the top of the mat. Let your feet be hips width distance. Once you get there, just fold forward over your legs. Let your neck release, relaxing your jaw. And try grabbing opposite elbows. So you can grab the inside of your arms, or the outside of your elbows, whatever feels good. And just let your whole upper body hang forward, letting your legs be your stability, support you. You can be still folding forward or add this movement side to side that Sean's doing. Whatever feels good. Bring your fingertips down to the ground. You can also bring them to your shin. We'll lengthen the spine forward for a half lift, roll your shoulders back, and take a big deep breath. Then exhale, fold forward over your legs. 2 more times, connect with your breath. Inhaling, heart open. Exhaling, fold forward. Big deep breath, half lift, strong legs. Good, exhale, fold. On your next breath in, we'll stand up with straight legs, reach out and up, and then pull your hands to your heart center as you breathe out. Take a deep breath with closed eyes, and sigh it out. Reach your arms out and up, fill up with air, reach it tall, and swan dive down, opening your arms, bend your knees as you go. Lift halfway up again. You can bring your hands to your shins, but press your shins against your hands. Then plant your hands down to the mat. Step your left foot far to the back of the mat for low lunge, and bring your knee down to the ground. Breathe here. You can keep your hands on the ground or lift them up to the sky. Totally up to you. If you are lifting your arms, hug your legs in towards each other. Beautiful. And if your hands are still on the ground, open your chest. With your hands on the mat, let's step forward to the top of the mat. Let's go to half lift with a big deep breath. And exhale, fold forward. Step your right foot back to the back of the mat, to the other side. Low lunge, taking your time to enter it. Hands stay down or rise up. So if you're lifting up your arms, traction your left heel back. So you have this lift up through your core and your heart. Beautiful, you guys. Hands down to the ground. With your next breath in, let's step forward to half lift. And exhale down to forward fold. Stand up with your breath. Reach it tall up into the air. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Take a big deep breath. Reach out and up. Grab your left wrist and pull it over to your right. Good. Come back to the center. Let's do the other side. Find some buoyancy in your knees and your core as you reach. Come back up to the center. Reach tall. Maybe gaze up if it feels good. And then dive down. Fold forward over your legs. Half lift with another deep breath in, enjoying it. Let's step to plank pose this time. Bring your hands down to the mat, step back behind you. And from plank, lower your knees to the ground for a tabletop. Before we begin a lot of movement on our hands, let's warm up the wrists a little bit. So turn your fingers facing in towards you, palms still on the ground. With straight arms, roll your shoulders back and take a long, slow breath, fostering trust in your body. And slowly we'll bring the hands the other way. So the palms stay down, but the fingers turn towards each other or in towards your knees. Up to you. Same thing, roll your shoulders back. Take a big, long breath. We'll do that twice more on both sides. So spin your hands the opposite way. Enjoy your breath, moving at your pace. No need to rush. When you're ready, spin them the opposite way. And to get the full effect here, we really want to press down and lift up through the chest and roll the shoulders back. Nice job. Great. One more on each side at your own pace. Take your time. This helps to warm up the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders, all the joints in which we use a lot in the yoga practice. We're on our hands a lot. Awesome. So after you're done with that, bring your hands regularly on the mat. And from here, we'll move to plank pose. So spread your fingers out on the mat. Get a little grip so you have some strength in your hands. It's a combo of pulling towards you and pressing towards the mat. And then slowly tuck your toes behind you, drawing your core in, pressing a little bit harder against the mat so you have this lift and doming up through your upper back, nice strong core, and long neck. Let's take a full deep breath in. And as you exhale, lower all the way down to the mat, letting your elbows move to the back of the room. Untuck your toes for Cobra Pose and roll your shoulders up and back. So the primary action here is using all the muscles along your back instead of your hands. So use your back strength and the back of your neck to lift up and then lower down to your mat. With your hands under your shoulders, we'll press back up to plank. You can keep your knees down onto the ground or lift them. As you inhale, press up. And as you exhale, tuck your toes. We'll move to downward facing dog. So take some deep breaths, again, nodding your head, maintaining that push-pull action in your hands. Take a deep breath and sigh it out. As you inhale, lift your heels and your gaze. And as you exhale, travel up to the top of the mat. If you feel warm, you can bring your feet together or keep them hips width distance. It's really up to you. Lift halfway up from there, lengthening your spine. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Let's rise up with a big deep breath. Reach your hands out and up, gazing tall. Then pull your hands down to your heart. Exhale. Good. Inhale, reach out and up. Swan dive down, folding forward. Good. Half lift. Take a big breath. Hands on the ground to your shins. Back to plank pose as you exhale. Take a long breath to affirm your strength. Press against the mat. And exhale all the way down to the ground again. For Cobra Pose, roll your shoulders back, and this time add a little bit. Draw your elbows towards each other back behind you. Then lower down to the ground. Really nice, you guys. Back to plank pose. Knees down or up, totally your choice. Back to downward facing dog as you exhale. 2 deep breaths. Extending your heels downward. Your heels totally don't have to touch the ground, but keep that strength in your legs and maybe a slight bend in your knees so you can stretch the back of your legs with so much efficacy and safety. On your next breath in, let's travel to the top of the mat again. We'll go straight to half lift, so roll your shoulders back when you get there, and then exhale, fold forward. Rise up with your breath, rooting through your feet, pressing down to grow tall and expand. Hands through your heart center, breathe out. Awesome. Inhale, gather it up, breathe in, lift up, and then exhale, swan dive down, fold forward. Lift halfway, shoulders back, deep breath in. Light step back to plank pose as you exhale. This time, inhale, affirm your strength, lower all the way or halfway down to low plank. If you'd like upward dog, you can, or cobra again, totally your choice. We'll move to downward facing. If you're coming from cobra, press back to plank first, and then to downward facing dog. Nice, you guys, really good form. As you inhale, lift up your right leg back behind you. Power through your heel, really kicking it up high, flexing your toes downward. Take a big breath, relax your neck. Then exhale, step forward between your hands. Spread your toes so you have roots extending down into the ground. And from your core, lift up your arms into the air, high lunge. Spike up your back heel. And remember that traction from low lunge. Hug your right heel back and lift up through your chest. Take a big deep breath. Then bring your hands down to the mat, exhale. To twist, lift your right arm, reaching it up to the sky. Roll both of your shoulders away from your ear. Remember this left shoulder to stay away from your left ear. Then exhale your hands down to the mat. For pyramid pose, hop your left foot forward a couple feet, spin your heel down, and lift halfway up so you have length in your spine. Now pull your right hip back just slightly, really strong in both legs, and then fold forward over your legs. Let your neck release. Take some deep breaths, stretching those muscles you've been working hard. And as you inhale, lengthen your spine forward and take a little twist to the right. You can lift your right arm or just bring your right hand to your hip. having a twist in the pyramid pose, and you can bend your right leg as much as you need as well. Lift your shoulder and chest to the right, take a breath. Great, you guys. Hands down to the mat, release. Plank pose, step both feet back. Exhale to low plank, all the way or halfway down. Back bend of your choice, cobra or upward dog. Pull your belly button in, and then back to downward facing dog when you're ready. Let's take a deep breath in, enjoying, and exhale it out. Lift your left leg, extending with your inhale, expanding. Again, powering through your heel, your whole leg. As you exhale, step forward between your hands. Spread all of your toes. Draw this core strength up and in, and then reach up into the air for a high lunge. Really drive down your left big toe. Take a big breath, expanding. Bring your hands down to the mat and slowly twist open to your left. And as you twist, be mindful of your right hip. Keep your right hip high, nice and strong, so you can focus the twist in your upper back. It helps to pull your belly button in and twist from there up. Bring your hands down to the mat for pyramid pose. Hop your back foot up as much as comfortable. Your feet can be on a wide stance or narrow, really what feels good to you. Lift halfway up, lengthening your spine. Draw your left hip back, and then fold forward into the stretch. And like I said before, you can bend your left knee as much as you need. You can also spin your right heel into the right even more. It really depends on what feels comfortable for your muscles. On your next breath, lengthen your spine halfway and twist to your left, either reaching your arm up or pulling back your hip and your shoulder. Bring your chin out of your chest and take a big breath. Beautiful, you guys. Hands down to the ground. This time, let's step to the top of the mat, half lift, and exhale, fold forward. Reach out and up, take a big deep breath, and swan dive down right away with your exhale, releasing, folding forward. Half lift, big breath in, back to plank pose, nice and slow. Inhale to lengthen, engage your strength. Low plank, exhale. Let's all try upward dog. Lift up your core, point your toes back behind you, and look up. Good. Downward facing dog. Lift up your hips, and take a deep, full breath in and out. Beautiful, you guys. Beautiful form. Lift up your right leg, expanding. Open your hips this time. You can either bend your leg or keep it straight, totally up to you. But keep your right shoulder moving down towards the mat and find this extension up through the right hip. On your next exhale, hug your knee to your chest and step between your hands. Lift to high lunge, reaching up. Bring your right hand down to your thigh, press it down and forward, and reach your left hand over to the side. So you have a little crescent high lunge. Crescent to the side. Come back up to the center, big breath in. Find your balance by hugging your feet together and in, then cactus your arms. Exhale, elbows back, really spread your fingers. Reach back up, take a full breath in. Exhale, hands down to the mat, and twist open to your right. Lift your right hand. You can stay here enjoying this twist, or flex your feet and point them to your right. Come onto the pinky side of both of your feet and really flex your toes up. Lift your hips and reach up. Stay here or move to side plank, bringing your right leg on top of your left. Finding your focus, use your eyes to help your balance. Let's take one more breath, and then step your foot up between your hands. So we're in a low lunge, all your toes face forward. Warrior two, spin your back heel down and come up, opening up your arms and your chest, expanding with your strength like the warrior. In this pose, we like to look past the right fingertips. So you focus your mind and focus your breath. Take a big inhale and sit lower as you exhale. Flip your right palm up and open and reverse warrior. Reach back behind you, but keep that bend in your right knee. Straighten your right leg from here for triangle pose. Hug your heels in and move your right arm down and forward. Left arm up to the sky. Again, you can bend your right knee as much as you need. What's important here is keeping your right quad really strong. So quad up, lower belly in. Then reach overhead to the front of your space, left palm down. Take a big deep breath. We'll go to a wide leg straddle from here. So hands to the mat. Turn your right toes in. Once you get there, lift halfway up and make sure your feet are parallel, or you can turn your toes in a little more than your heels. Totally up to you. Then fold forward over your legs. You can bend your knees if you'd like. Just let your upper body hang and let your body weight move forward and down. Enjoy a couple of breaths and feel free to move any way you'd like. You may find a sway, a little twist, or a deeper stretch like Lizzie's having with the hands on the ground. That's really great. Nice, I love it. Let's come back to the center. Bring your hands down to the ground. Lift halfway up. Walk your hands back to surround your right foot. From there, step to plank pose. Hands on the ground, feet nice and strong, and we'll move through a vinyasa. Exhale down to low plank. Into upward facing dog. Really make your ankles strong and supported. And back to downward facing dog. Lift up your hips. Take a big deep breath and exhale it out. Lift up your left leg, extending it high. Open up your hips, leg bent or straight, totally up to you. Just practice what you did on the other side, finding balance for your body. Keep your strength in your left hand. Take one more breath. Exhale, knee or thigh into your chest to step forward. Rise up to high lunge, expanding, breathing in, really coming to life with your strength, enjoying your body. Take a full breath in. Exhale, plant your left hand on your thigh, press it down and forward, and reach your right hand over to the side. Take another full deep breath in and out. Come back up to your center, both arms in. Again, hug your feet in for that balance, then cactus your arms. Spread your fingers, then reach back up. Full inhale. Hands down to the mat, breathe out. And open up to the left, twisting, expanding into your side. Again, right shoulder away from your ear. Press firmly through your hand. You can stay as you are or flex your feet and point them to the left. And as you do so, lift your whole body away from the ground, core in. You can stay there or take it to side plank, stacking your left leg on top of your right. And if you're moving to side plank, really flex your toes up. Draw your ribs in, nice and strong. Let's take one more breath. Step your left foot forward, back to low lunge. All your toes facing forward. Nice and slow, warrior two. Come on up to standing, opening your chest and arms. So as you breathe here, let's refine the pose a little bit. Make sure your front foot is pointing straight and your knee is pointing in the same direction as your toes. The knee has a tendency to dip in, so keep it straight and strong. Press to the pinky side of your back foot and draw your core muscles in. Flip your left palm to reverse warrior. Let's take a big deep breath. Keep the bend in your left knee. Straighten your left leg for triangle pose. And exhale, go down. Left hand towards the mat, right hand up high. I like to imagine support here. So imagine you can lean against something with support. Roll your shoulders back. Really expand open through your heart with your arms. Reach overhead, taking a full side body stretch. Enjoy it with a big breath. And then hands down to the mat for a straddle stretch. Hands down to the ground, wide leg forward fold. Lift halfway up again. Make sure your feet are parallel. And then fold forward into the stretch. You can stay as you are, enjoying this still forward fold. Or you can enjoy a little bit of a twist by planting your right hand down underneath your face and lifting your left hand up into the air. So if you're moving into that twist, keep your body weight moving forward towards the toes and maybe bend your knees a little bit. Bring your hand back to the ground. We'll do the other side. Move with your breath, expanding. Keep your toes engaged, your arches of your feet lifting, and lift your chin out of your chest. Awesome. Come back down to the mat. Walk your hands to your front foot. Come to low lunge. Let's step back to plank pose and move through vinyasa. Vinyasa means to connect your breath and your movement with mindfulness. So each time we move, flow, we can get into the zone, that place where we feel alive and really great. Let's enjoy a deep, full breath. And let's put all of those movements together. As you inhale, lift up your right leg, kicking it high up into the sky behind you. Open up your hips, expanding, keeping that strength through your hands pressing down. Nice and slow, hug your knee to your chest 3 times. Move with your breath. Inhale, kick it up and back. Exhale, curl in and fire up. Press through the mat. Inhale up. Exhale in. Good. Expand your leg up and back. And then nice and slow, step between your hands. Let's rise to high lunge, spreading your toes, reach it up. Place your right palm on your thigh, press it down and forward, and reach overhead with your left. Get a nice deep side stretch into your left side. And then slowly come back up to the center, arms up. For balance, really hug your legs in, and then cactus your arms. From here, let's add a little bit. Dip your left knee down over the mat to hover, tuck your tailbone in, lift your chest, and then come back up to high lunge. Straight legs, straight arms. Let's do that 2 more times. As you dip down, focus on the back bend, lifting your chest. Inhale back up. Great, 1 more time, you can do it. Tuck it down, and then inhale, rise back up. Bring your hands to your heart this time. Prayer twist, bring your left elbow over to your thigh. It's mostly comfortable if you can bring your tricep down to your quad and then roll your shoulders back. If you'd like, you can bring your left knee down to the mat. We'll take a couple of breaths here. You can also add on by expanding, opening up your arms. Totally up to you. Let's all meet back in prayer twist. Bring your hands to your heart, lift your back knee. Inhale back up to the center, reach your arms straight up. Nice work, you guys. Straight to warrior 2 from here. Open up your arms really wide. And again, straight front foot, opening your knee to the right. Roll your shoulders down and back, and try sitting a little bit lower into your strength. Flip your right palm, reverse warrior. Deep, full breath into your side. Triangle pose, straighten your right leg, right arm down, left hand up high. Again, like you have support, lean back into it. Open up your arms. Reach overhead with your left hand, finding a nice stretch. Then hands down to the ground for the straddle. Turn your left toes, right toes in so they're both parallel. Lift halfway up, and then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Walk your hands back to the front, surrounding your right foot. Back to plank pose. Take a big breath. Vinyasa, nice and slow. Taking your time. Inhale through your nose, and exhale through your mouth. Lift up your left leg, expanding. Enjoy opening your hips, supported through your hands and your right foot. Lift up your leg. Take a big breath in, and then 3 times, hug your knee into your chest nice and strong. Move at your own pace, expanding and contracting inward. Beautiful strength, you guys. You're really strong and controlled. On the 3rd time, expand back up just once more, and then step between your hands. Spread your toes and reach up to high lunge. Nice and strong in your core muscles. Left hand down to your thigh. Ease it down and forward and reach overhead to the side. Come back up to your center. Bring your hands up. Cactus arms, exhale back, right knee hovers over the mat. With your breath, lift your knee and your hands. Twice more. Really emphasize pulling your shoulder blades back together, lifting your chin as you go down. Inhale up. Last time, exhale. Strong, you guys, really fierce. Back to the center, hands to your heart for prayer twist, and bring your right elbow over to your thigh. If you want, drop your right knee, or open up your wings and fly, totally up to you. Draw your navel in and enjoy some deep breath up into your heart. Let's come back to prayer twist, hands together. Knee lifts off of the mat. Come up to high lunge and right to warrior two as you exhale. Expanding your arms nice and strong. Your shoulders down away from your ears as you gaze past your left fingertips. Deep breath in. Sit lower as you exhale. Flip your left palm to reverse warrior. Reach up and back. Enjoy a deep breath. Straighten your left leg for triangle pose. And in triangle, remember to keep your legs active. Hug your heels in and your lower core in as well. Beautiful. Lift your right hand overhead, extending it. Bring your hands down to the ground for wide leg forward fold. Lift up your chest, and then exhale, fold in. Lift halfway up. Walk your hands to your left foot, coming to a low lunge, and step back to plank pose. Take a big breath in and move through your vinyasa as you exhale. Deep breath in, filling up with energy, then exhaling, letting it go. We'll move to yogi squat from here. So walk your hands to the back of your mat where your feet are and turn your heels in. You can let your heels come up off of the ground as you sit your hips low. You can keep your hands down on the ground. It may feel good to relax your neck and your shoulders. Up to you. If it feels good to drop your heels down to the ground, try a prayer at your hands and pressing your elbows against your inner knees, rolling your shoulders back, really long through your whole spine, extending up through your crown. Now let's take 2 more breaths, just finding grounding and calm. Tell your muscles it's okay. Inhale and exhale. Let's release it. Come back to downward facing dog. Walk your hands far forward in front of you. Step your feet back together. Nod your head yes. And as you inhale, lift up your right leg, extending it up and back behind you. We'll move to pigeon pose from here. So bring your right knee up behind your right wrist on the mat and swing your leg over to the left. I like to think of the number 7 with the right leg. You can slide your back leg behind you and check, look over your shoulder for a moment, make sure your leg is straight, pointing your toes so your knee is safe. And then lift up your heart for a breath, roll your shoulders back. And as you exhale, come to your forearms. You can stay on your forearms as long as you'd like, and if that's also too intense for the muscles, stay up on your hands. You can stay on your forearms like Sean, the whole pose, or if you'd like, you could come down to your forehead, maybe reach your arms out in front of you, or like a diamond shape, totally up to you. Relax your neck and your head, let it hang down. Tune into your breath, and once again, foster that trust in your body. Your thoughts control your nervous system, and your nervous system controls your muscles. So if we think everything is good, we're relaxed and calm, the muscles have an easier time of relaxing and releasing. So take a bigger breath, letting your belly expand and soften, and then sigh it out, maybe audible so you can hear that release. Come up to your hands, lifting up your chest, and we'll stretch our back quad for a couple of breaths. So either use your left hand to grab your back foot, and just pull it in towards you, creating a squared chest towards the front of the room, or you can bring your left forearm down to the mat and reach your right hand behind you. You might just stay like this with the foot back on the ground, just releasing it down like that. That can be a nice stretch, or if you'd like, you can grab the foot and bring it up towards you. Again, calm mind as best as you can. I know how intense this can be. Relax your jaw and open up to the sensation. Let it wash over you. Take one more breath and then let it go, release. Really good work. Swing your left leg forward or in front of you for a seated twist. So just sit over to your right hip from here. You have a couple of options with this one. You can either take the full seated twist, stepping your left foot to the right side of your thigh and go ahead into the twist to the left. Or if you'd like, you can extend your right leg straight on the mat and hug your leg around the outer side of your knee. So as you twist to the left, you wrap your forearm around so you have expansion in the back, or you can bring your tricep to the outer knee like Lizzie. Most importantly, lift up your chest, lift up your head, and lightly look back behind you. Take another breath in, finding length, and an exhale, finding depth in the stretch. And then release the pose. Let's move back to downward facing dog. We'll do pigeon and these poses on the other side. If you need a vinyasa in between, you're welcome to it. Move like you and take your time. Beautiful work, you guys, really nice. Lift up your left leg, extending it high up and back. Nice and slow pigeon pose on this side. Take your time entering the pose. Stay on your hands for a few moments. Again, maybe look back, checking your right leg, ensuring it's straight and you feel comfortable. Lift up your chest for just a breath. And then exhale down to your mat, spending a few breaths on your forearms, or coming down all the way if you'd like. In the yoga practice, they say that the center, the torso of the body is where we contain the most energy, the most life. So if we think about the top, where the head and the jaw is, and the bottom, where the hips are, it's kind of a container. So to release the hips and relax them, we can also start at the top by relaxing the jaw. So soften your face, your jaw, and let it wash down over your whole body, relaxing your entire being. Relax your neck and your head. Soften everything you can. Let's just take one deep, full breath. Sigh it out. Beautiful work. Come up to your hands with a new, fresh breath in. Roll your shoulders back behind you. Move into that quad stretch. Right hand to your foot, or right forearm down, and opening up, or grabbing your back foot. Really, what's up to you? Awesome. There's so many muscles in the quad, the top of the thigh. You really can choose. If you want to look to the side like Lizzie is, you can square forward. Target the stretch you really need today. Let's take another breath in and out. Yeah, it can be intense. And release it. Let it go. Sit onto your left hip for the seated twist. Swing your back leg forward and around. And find your expression. Go right into the twist. Extend your leg. Adjust your hips. Move around however it feels good to you. Imagine cobra in your upper back in this pose. So you roll your shoulders back and lengthen up through your whole spine. You have a light gaze back behind you if that feels okay. And then find some ease. Let's take another deep breath in and out. Great work, you guys. Release this stretch. This time, just bring your legs straight forward in front of you for reverse tabletop. So plant your feet on the ground, your feet about hips width distance. Bring your hands behind you, your fingers facing forward. And as you're comfortable, lift up your hips into the air. You want to engage your neck, so keep your head lifting. If it feels good, you can extend your head back behind you. If it feels okay, you can relax your head behind you. Up to you. Lift your hips as high as you can. Let's take 2 more breaths. Beautiful, you guys, really nice. Down to the mat you go, relax. And for a butterfly stretch, bring your feet together, your knees open. You have 2 options here. You can either draw your heels in as much as comfortable, totally up to you. They can be far forward or close. You can fold forward over your legs, or you can stay upright. So bring your hands back behind you if you're staying upright, like you're on the beach getting some sun gazing, lifting up your chest. And use the strength on the outer edges of your legs to press your knees down. In either variation, press the pinky side of your feet together and let your arches open. That'll help target opening up your hips. Let's take 2 more deep breaths. Good, you guys. Come back to the center. Bring both of your knees in. Extend your legs straight on the mat. You may need to scoot back a little bit if you do. Flex your toes back towards you, and you have two options as well. Stay seated if this is already a great stretch, or fold forward and relax your arms. You can lightly grab onto your feet or your shins. Just find some ease. And if you're seated, you may want to do the same thing, where you bring your hands back behind you and kind of have this lift of your chest. That may feel good, or you can move slightly forward in front of your legs. It's really up to you. For the next 2 breaths, find ease where you can. Then come back up to the center. Bring your right foot to your inner thigh now, lifting up your chest. Reach your right arm up into the air, and then we'll do a little side bend. Reach your hand towards your left foot, so you have a little arch on your side. You don't have to go too deep. You can stay lifted. You can even come up to your left hand. Try coming up to your left hand for this one. So your left leg or your left side is very supported and strong as you reach overhead. If you'd like to deepen the stretch a bit, you could press your left hand against your right knee, pressing it away from your body. So you can get this really nice stretch and maybe grab your foot. Maybe one day. Don't rush. Let's take one more breath. Great variations, you guys. Come back to the center. We'll move to the other side. Your left knee in, your right leg out, lifting your chest, moving to the opposite side. In either variation you're taking, the deep bend or the less extreme version, keep that engagement in your right side. So even if you're reaching all the way towards your foot, draw your navel in so your right side is supported. Then find some ease in your jaw. You're just stretching and exploring the body. Just one more breath. Good. Come back up to the center. Hug both of your knees in towards your chest, sitting at the middle of the mat. And I want you to try something courageous. Wrap your arms tightly around yourself. Give yourself the biggest hug you can, really tight, and then let your feet come off of the ground so you're only balancing on your butt. Really squeeze yourself, thank yourself for your efforts, thank yourself for your hard work, and then without letting go, roll onto your back. Ooh, yes, you made it. Trust. From here, we'll move into a twist. Let your knees drop over to your left, like dominoes, falling, relaxing. Make any adjustments you need in your back. You may like to move or lift it up. I like to take a cactus shape with my arms. Or you could gently let your left hand come onto your knee, totally up to you. What's most important in this moment is releasing. So close your eyes. Take deep breaths into your belly. Let this be a symbol of digesting all of your efforts, realizing how much work you've put in, and letting go of what you can. On your next breath, slowly come back to your center and move your legs to the opposite side. And again, make any adjustments you need. Get comfortable. Then relax. Relax your eyes, your jaw, your whole body. Enjoy deep, full breaths into your core. Letting go and releasing. Enjoy a nice, deep belly breath. And a sigh out of your mouth. Then ease back to your center. Bring your knees back into your chest, embracing yourself. One last hug. Send yourself love, honor, acceptance. And then ease into our final pose, Shavasana, where we sprawl out on the mat and rest. We extend the legs and the arms, palms up, heart up, everything resting and relaxing. Let your closed eyes relax and sink into their sockets. Soften your jaw and relax your tongue. Relax your entire back, your legs onto your mat. Allow each exhale to release, washing away what you can surrender. Allowing yourself stillness and restoration is vital to your journey to transformation. Some yoga philosophies say that you should rest in Shavasana for at least 20 minutes. So don't rush it, and just be here now. Soften down and let go. Take a deep breath through your nose and sigh out of your mouth. Just for a moment, explore your stillness. Revel in this feeling that you have created for yourself. Thank your body for its hard work. Thank your breath for giving you energy. And honor your mind, both your darkness and your light. But if you'd like to seal out your practice, just gently roll onto the side of your body for a few breaths. You may use one arm as a pillow. Just continuing to know that you have support sinking into it. When you feel ready, come up to a seat. Sitting comfortably on your mat. Bring your hands together at your heart center. Lifting up your spine, coming back to your breath. Let's take a big breath in and out. Share an Om to seal the practice. Inhale. Connecting at our hearts, this place where we are all one, we bow to each other. Namaste.